Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG Vicente, and this is episode 269 of the show. Yo, I told you, man, we just keep rocking these things out, man. We're not going to stop. We have a big announcement that I'll go ahead and let you guys know at the end of the show, but let's go ahead and get into today's menu. On today's menu, we are joined by this man who he's a friend of mine. When my journey in MMA specifically, when I was starting my MMA journey, and I know a lot of us who do not know this, I used to compete. I competed at a relatively high level. Unfortunately, because of illness, I had to stop. I ended up getting cancer. I had to stop competing in MMA. But it has always been my heart, and that's why I keep doing this. But the man who really took me under his wing and really helped me when I first started competing MMA was this man. He is a martial arts Hall of Famer. He is a UFC and MMA and specifically UFC pioneer. He is the first man to ever land a spinning back fist in the UFC, knocking out future welterweight champion Matt Serra. I'm talking about none other than my brother from another, the legend, Mr. International, Shonie Carter. Shonie, brother, welcome to the pod.
What is going on? What is going on? I shaved, try to look cute for all the ladies watching. I'm single now.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, man, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, man. It is always a pleasure to talk to you. For people who do not know who you are, like I said, I try to give you a little justice when we kicked everything off. But one thing I have to let people know again, this is a guy who has competed in every major martial arts promotion. This is a former WEC champion. He's a WEC champion at the same time. Again, he is the guy who had that welterweight belt over there. That was before Carlos Condit did at the WEC. There it is right there. Old school WEC belt. So you have a guy who has fought in everything from King of the Cage over there in Britain. There, man, he has the belt. So he is an MMA legend. I'm glad he has the belts and everything right there so you guys can see. But, bro, tell me a little bit about, again, yourself and you're a Chicago dude. But for those who do not know, who is Shonie Carter? And tell me a little bit about your MMA journey.
Okay. This y'all gonna get the funny on me. Okay, because I promise, Serge, he gonna get Shonie. Excuse me. He gonna get Miriam Shonie.
Look, because I just for before he even gets into it, because Shonie is my brother and I've known him for a long time, and Shonie has been in a couple fights. So what ends up happening is that after a while he gets to rambling and rolling and going. So you got to reel my man's back in. So I had to kick it off like this and let everybody know. So I called Shonie yesterday and I was like, look, bro. We're going to do the show. I was like, but one thing I need you to do, I don't need Mr. International. The guy with the crowns and the hats is Mr. International.
Right.
I need Shonie Carter because, and the reason I wanted Shonie Carter because he is one of the best people, the most open people with his knowledge that I have ever met in the sport. A lot of times in this sport, it is a little cutthroat. Everybody wants to keep all the good martial arts and all the good shit to themselves, which let's keep it a bean. It's one of those things that, you know, it's old school martial arts, gym wars and things like that. That's the way a lot of us, remembered and thought about those things. You know what I'm saying? So again, in fact, let me talk about this. I want to get into this early UFC because we're going to start doing a monthly segment of Shonie. It's going to be story time with Uncle Shonie. All right. And because
Uncle Grandfather.
Because he has so many stories, man. So let's talk about this for a story that I think a lot of people want to know of. You are the person that landed the first spinning back fist in UFC history. You knocked out Matt Serra with that one.
Can I correct you for a second?
Yes, please.
I'm the first to land a spinning back fist in MMA. Any organization.
You see what I'm saying? And so I had to let the people know, man. I have to let the people know about it. Right. So tell me a little bit about that one, man. You're going into it. From the beginning, like, did you know Matt? Like, how was that whole story? Tell me about that.
I'm gonna give you the juice, the goody. Okay, sir, y'all don't know. Serge known me for a long time. This story's gonna go back before I met Serge. And Serge, right, this is batshit nutty. So, okay. I ain't gonna go all the way back to college, but that's like
Hey man, hey, no,
episode
damn that.
7.
Hey, Matt Serra fight. Let's
Right,
talk about Matt Serra.
I'm not going that far. I'm going right to this. So I get the deal because I fought who was it? Brad Gum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before that, I was fighting everywhere, like all around the world.
Yeah.
But nobody knew because it was on social media.
Absolutely.
So essentially, I fought Pat Miletich when he was the current champion in a baseball field in a boxing ring, and we did 20 straight minutes. Yeah. No, it was 15-5, 15-minute round and a 5-minute round. So I went the distance with him scoring a throw.
I think you can find that fight on UFC Fight Pass if anybody wants to check that out.
Yeah, it probably is.
On Fight Pass.
So literally, they gave him the nod, but they knew I won because they ain't gonna let the UFC champion in his hometown lose. They went the distance.
Thanks.
I then trucked it over to Japan in the house of the land of the rising sun. I went undefeated on my first few stretches over in Japan. They came back and said, "Oh, this kid wasn't no luck. This guy's real." So going into the few fights, Adrian Serrano, leaning into Matt Serra.
Right.
Well, they were notorious for calling me on short notice. Yeah. That's why when we were talking yesterday, that's why I got L's on my record. Anytime you see an L on my record, it was either one, it was short notice. 2, they knew they would give me fight like back to back.
You did. I mean, you fought some badasses too. You've been in there with some of the best.
Some head busters.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I'm still cognitive and be able to enunciate my vowels and consonants. So conjugating verbs and stuff. But anyway, back to Matt Serra. I'm working on that stay on track thing. So I did not know who the fuck Matt Serra was at all. Mm-hmm. When they told me, they just say there's this guy named Matt Serra out of New York. I'm like, I'm from Chicago. They have the Knicks, we have the Bulls. I'm gonna fuck. We beat them. So I literally cracked. I talk like that. Y'all don't know. So one thing leads to another. At this time, I only had one child, and that was Sierra. She's now 28. I'm a granddad. But anyway, staying with the story. So I have a weird life. Working for the Japanese, working with the police, teaching them Huji Juji Kung Fu. Mm-hmm. And so I'm training in between hustle. My whole life has been hustle. Yeah, so absolutely. I didn't think about looking up Matt Serra, going on. And even,
I mean, and just that at that point in time, it's not like, you had to get a VHS to actually find somebody.
I got a VHS. I got fights over here on VHS. They know my record.
I'm talking about, especially when you fought Matt Serra. It's not like anybody can really scout anybody. Right. You had to hear about dude.
All I heard was the motherfucker was 8-0. Yeah. I'm like, well, that old gotta go. I don't like undefeated fighters at all. I respect Khabib, but that shit gotta go. Lucky I ain't around. I love him.
We'll get into that today.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Let's stay with Matt Serra. Yeah. So I'm on that bullshit because I was working in a strip club and I was a cable man at the same damn time. So I was making legit money. In the daytime, I would sneak off work and go train on my lunch break, or like my lunch hour.
Absolutely.
You know how we do. Lunch hour.
Oh, so, I hear you.
Right. Yeah, media one. So I get the fight. I'm working late night strip club, doing underground fights at the same time. Yeah. So I'm bringing in new money, a paycheck from the cable company, strip club money, and underground fight money.
Okay.
Man, the times are good. Anyway, so I overslept. I missed my fucking flight. Right. Hey, CPT is real. Right. So I get to the airport before you can,
and this is going to and you're heading to Vegas to fight. Yes. Was this fight in Vegas?
This is Atlantic City.
Okay, so you're actually going to Atlantic City. Oh, because that was at the Trump.
The Trump place. That's another thing.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so now you're going to Atlantic City. So you missed the flight. What happened?
I get to the flight. I'm like, yo, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So they actually hooked me up with a direct flight that actually got me there earlier than the flight with the connection. So
Okay,
I
that's
got
awesome.
there, but I still missed my valet. Somehow or another. Whatever. That's Shonie. That's what I do. I make shit happen. So up in my corner's like, what we gonna do? I said, don't concentrate on the problem, concentrate on the solution.
Okay.
Needless to say, I see BJ Penn. And this is the good stuff. So I was like, Baby J,
So wait,
what's good?
you saw him at the airport in Atlantic
At the
City?
airport. Right.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, Baby J, what's up, dog? Shonie brother. I'm like, listen, pimpin', because we had some previous,
Yeah.
meetings. And
Well,
so,
you guys fought together when he fought Machida in Japan. You were out there also.
bro,
That's how you guys. Is that where you guys know each
yeah,
other
we
from?
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
literally, when I first saw him, I didn't know him. I was like, fuck, I don't want to fight him. He can put his legs behind his head. That's some bullshit. He should be in porn. So literally, I see him at the airport. Man, I need a ride. We need a ride, man. Where you going, brother? Where the fuck you going? And he's like, well, I don't know. I said, you know where you going. I'm going where you going.
Yeah.
So we jump in the limo with Baby J.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so most of you didn't know the whole story about Baby J. Baby J didn't come up struggling. Baby J's family owns the cable company in Hawaii. They own the hospital on the Big Island. That's why I really respect them because he didn't have to fight.
Yep. Yep. Just a
And he
natural
was
fighter.
he was picking up rocks
Yeah.
out the bottom of the ocean and swimming
And
to them.
it's one of the things with BJ. It's the way his career ended is so unfortunate because I feel like people forget how amazing he was.
Bro,
Like
dude,
they
by
throw
today's
away his career like he was a scrub. It's just such a dude was so
no,
dope, man.
dude, man, he was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
So check this out. We can stay the story. So we're in the limo. And BJ is the first dude I had ever seen have a portable DVD player. I'm like, who the fuck has a portable? You've seen they were brand new in the house.
Yeah.
Still, I'm like, this dude got a portable DVD with the pop-up screen. So I'm like, what the? He's like, hey brother, you want to see this? You want to see Matt Serra fights? I'm like, who? The dude you fighting? Oh, that's what I'm fighting. Matthew. That's right, Matthew. And he's like, Matthew? His name is Matt. Okay. Well, his mama named him Matthew, just like Matthew Hughes. Matthew. So he's like, yeah, because he was telling me they were trying to get BJ and Matt to fight. But Matt,
Which at that time would have made sense because all you guys are fighting at 55. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, no, I got you, Pepper. I'm gonna take this scrub out. But you behave because I don't want to be having to, tangle ass with you. So we would crack jokes like that.
Absolutely.
So I said, no, I don't look at fighters. I try to figure that shit out on the job training, on the battlefield. And he was like, you sure, brother? I'm like, bro, I'm a player from the Himalayas.
Funny, man. So
I'm
okay,
looking down.
so let me ask you this. So when you get there, you
Right.
you talk to like I said, you talk to BJ.
I
You're
do
in
the
there.
thing, the paper signing, the contract signing, and
so let's go. We'll fast forward to fight day. Okay.
okay.
So real
Right
quick.
before the fight, right before
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk you through the whole story. We in the back, Brian Gassaway and me.
Shout out to Brian Gassaway, one of the best kickboxers to do it.
Right. So literally, we share locker rooms with the Lions Den. Trey Telligman.
That's when Rampage was at Lions Den. That's the Michael Bisping's old team.
Right. All the OGs. So Pete Williams fought Semi Schultz. And they were being assholes. And I'm saying that because I ain't afraid of none of them. So they were taking up the whole damn room, moving and shaking. I'm like, bro, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even need this. I'm going to be cool. I literally, the whole time, sat in the back room chilling in that gold paisley on paisley suit with the fedora on. which I still have.
If you guys have not seen, and brother, please do not get up and show us right now. I have to say that. I'm sure it is. I'm
not
sure.
gonna pull it out.
You guys look up Shonie on because you just gotta look up some pictures on Google, and you see some of the wild shit. Like, first time I ever seen Shonie compete in this before I met him. I swear to you, he went out there and was fighting some speedos, bro. Like, that's the type of joint this dude is, man. So, all right, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead. Let's get back to it. So you're going in there. Let's say
goes and
walking out. Yeah.
Right, they walking out. They do their thing. Pete gets belly kicked by Semi shit, which I knew was going to happen anyway. So I get up. They come give you. They give you the knock of terror. Most of you fans don't know what the knock of terror is. Surge, the knock of terror. 5 minutes.
Yep.
That's the knock of terror.
It's terrifying.
So I'm like, shit, it's going down. Like the Titanic is going down.
And it doesn't matter how many times you've done it.
Oh my God. So it's the knock of fear now. It's like the ocean. Now it's like the what the fuck you won't knock. Now, because I'm like, all right, I'm coming. I'll be right there. Start the shit. I'll be right there.
Right, absolutely.
So I go out there. I have not warmed up at all. Because those dickheads, those lion's head dickheads, they took up the whole damn room, those dickheads. Yeah. So, and I'll say it one more time for those that didn't understand my enunciation, those dickheads took up the whole damn room. So I walk out to the Matt Serra fight, cold as ice.
Wow.
Chilling. I'm like, Ice-T was like putting on a coat when I walked past. So
that is hilarious.
Yeah, Ice Cube was warmed up. So here I is. I'm doing the walkout. I'm wearing the 3/4 length paisley on paisley with the fedora and the hot speedos.
Right.
So and then I had knee pads on, and they were like, "Oh, you can't wear them." I said, "But what about his skull?"
Funny.
Yeah, because my brain is like, I'm a martial artist, and I'm kind of bony, knees and elbows, because that was the original plan.
Absolutely.
To knee him in the head. Because Dean D'Alessandro, my old Italian boxing coach.
And I understand why you would have had him, people, because again, Shonie, for those who do not know, Shonie is one of those guys that actually was an alternate for the Olympic team for Greco-Roman. What year was that? Was that
96?
96. Okay, so
how old were you in 96?
10 years old.
Okay, yeah.
10 years old.
You were working on things. You were there.
Hey man, I was in martial arts classes.
Hey, you were making Campbell soup with the sprinkles already. I know what you do.
So he was an alternate. So for those who do not know, again, alternate from the Olympic team, but at that time also, extensive kickboxing and Shidokan martial arts background as well. So again, he's an all-encompassing martial artist. So he is more of a striker. So Matt Serra, for those who do not know, is a jiu-jitsu guy. He's Abu Dhabi. Exactly. So you have him out there. So I understand why you were probably looking at it like, well, I'm gonna strike with this dude because fuck it, And since he's gonna try to get me down, so those elbows and knees make perfect sense.
Exactly. So I'm like, he wants to do everything but go with the script. Read the damn script, homie. Follow suit. So he trying to play tussle McGrabby ass.
Right.
And so during the fight, he kept doing this high level hooji juji shit that I had never seen. The omoplata.
It's funny because at this point in time now you have a relationship with Henzo, but that's when Henzo was fresh in New York.
Right.
So people don't understand. People didn't see, and that's when jiu-jitsu was still. Jiu-jitsu wasn't like you know it now.
Right. Everybody doing that shit.
Exactly. So, at that point in time, it was different.
By the way, I want to say thank you for doing this interview because I'm focusing on. I'm going live and talking to you. So live is I'm letting you know I'm on the Fight Podcast on Instagram. I'm talking on Facebook and talking to you. So
let them know.
I'll go to Instagram and look at that shit. So okay, I'm cool with everybody, and so the hooji juji stuff. I'm like, let me figure this out. It's because I'm pulling up now out of the inner recesses of my athletic black guy work hard chest. I have a chest of shit that I can't teach because fuck, I climbed trees. I jumped fences. I used to hang from pipes in the hood on the west side of Chicago. Shit that you don't do. Y'all don't jump fences, play hopscotch, and hide the belt.
At least not
Mr.
anymore.
Freeze, pop wheelies on a bicycle, doing 360s on a bike. That's what I did.
Right.
Falling into a river, trying to jump the river on a pedal bike. Black guy that can't swim, different strokes other than I can backstroke now. But anyway,
Hey,
stay focused. Okay,
come on, man.
focus.
The fight.
Okay. So keep me on the rails. So literally, Dean D'Alessandro, Italian boxing coach, said, fuck all that grappling shit.
Amazing coach as well.
Amazing.
Amazing
He took
coach.
me to Swallow. You know about Swallow Cliff. Y'all, most people, these new MMA kids, they make cameo at Swallow Cliff once every month or every 2 months. Dean D'Alessandro.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. Okay, so the fight starts, right?
Right. This is what I'm talking about the fight.
Okay, so go ahead. Okay.
Dean D'Alessandro did not let me grapple at all. Every damn day. Swallow Cliff, running interval sprints, getting to the top of the cliff, hitting focus mitts.
Right.
At the top, not the bottom. At the top. I puked so much I should have been able to call it Carter's Pukes Cliff. So literally, I know my tank is deep. I'm talking like Clay Guida is a white belt cardio deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And you're always somebody that has been known for your great cardio. Absolutely.
Right. So going into the fight, I knew he was gassing with them submissions.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I was starting to slip out of shit. I'm like, oh, okay, what the fuck was that? I later find out, that everybody like Frank Shamrock and Jeff Blatnick were giving him all the pull and play on the commentary. I ain't mad at him. I'm out there in Speedos. Be mad at me. So literally, I pulled it out.
Right.
Oh yeah, but it didn't land like Dean.
No, you caught more. It was more like forearms that you caught with.
Yeah. If I had caught him with this here, that'd have been a 1-round fight.
Yeah. Well, you feel because that's right. You caught him in the first round with it.
Twice. Right.
You caught him twice with it because you went back to the well in the second round.
Right.
So was it when you went back to the second? It was the third. I'm sorry. So did you go back to it because of the success that you had in the first round? So you so let me ask you this: what did you see? And I know it was a minute ago, but I know you watched the fight not too long ago. But so, what did you see in that moment that you knew you can get that off? Because I know the first time you throw it, it was just like you slipped out, so it was kind of within the movement. So now, because you're for people who do not know, you're the one that actually taught me how to throw a spinning back fist. You know what I mean?
I'm still teaching it too.
Yeah. So the thing is, you do an amazing job. For those who do not know, it's all in the foot placement. So you see guys like right now. So you see, for instance, like the best one I think he throws it now is like Gaston Bolanos, who fights with Bellator. He has an extensive kickboxing background, but the way that they do it is that they make sure that in their base, it's still in the same. So it looks like you're still going forward, but the feet actually change places.
Right.
And in that same moment, the feet changes and that angle, you're able to go back there and end up landing the strike. Landing the strike. So that is what they're working on there. So yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. And see, the thing is, like when I watched John Jones, who's more infamously known for doing it. Well, here's the thing: John is athletic as fuck, but his footwork. Don't get mad, John. When you watch this, is off. I ain't gonna say it sucks, but it's off.
Yeah, and especially the older he's gotten. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not tripping. You say, hey, you handed over your belt. I ain't tripping. So with Matt Serra, I noticed that he was so aggressively linear.
Yeah.
And so when I watch the grapplers, even when I watch the grappling now, everybody is relaxed too damn much in front of each other. When I watch MMA, they play shoot 'em out, bang bang. Right?
Right.
In the Marines, we call it a company front.
Okay.
The most effective way and fast way to kill somebody is sit still and pack, pack, pack. The fast way to die is stand there and go pack, pack, pack. Whoever.
By the way, people, Shonie's also a Marine.
Yeah. So Casimir Pulaski,
he's lived like the most lives out of anybody I've ever known. It's crazy.
So Casimir Pulaski, it was the general from Poland who
He
taught
did.
the making revolutionary soldiers to fight on flanks and ankles. That's why Pulaski here in Chicago. But anyway, so I've always learned to fight on ankles because I'm a southpaw and don't stand in front of nobody, especially in Orthodox League, because they shoot the straight right hand. When you step to your right, moving away from the right hand, or unless I step out and whip a lead leg roundhouse kick, flanking.
And that's what you ended up catching him with also, because since he was a conventional fighter, he shot that right hand. You timed it. You stepped off of the right hand and coming around and whacking him on that one. It was a beautiful technique. Again, for those who haven't looked it up, you should definitely check it out.
They want all the people that don't throw it to teach it. I'm like, I don't care about Dominic Cruz and Michael Bisping. Hell, I'm the one who did it first.
When you did it was amazing, man. And I think it was one of the biggest moments in MMA history. I mean, it really is. The first one to be landed, especially on the athlete that it was landed on. You know what I mean? So that's really, really fucking dope. All right, man. So let me ask you about this. Let's transition a little bit of modern MMA and what's currently going on as well now. Kamaru Usman went out there this past week and did fucking work. He goes out there. He did his thing. Let me ask you this. A lot of people are comparing him. They're saying he is the new GOAT of 170. Do you think Kamaru Usman is better than George St. Pierre now?
Yeah, he's doing an outstanding job. Right now, I think that it's too early to call him the GOAT. I'm not knocking him because he's done the most exemplary job. Most exemplary.
Oh, it's beautiful what he did. His development and the fact that, and one of the biggest things that I've seen from it is that Buddy has evolved and he's still evolving, which is really fucking dope.
And you gotta tell you something else? Was crazy for a minute. Just like I said with my boy, my homie Khabib. Unlike Khabib, you don't really learn from Khabib because he was voracious. I loved him. I mean, I loved his fighting style.
And he's also become a very good coach now that he's
He's focusing. He's very cerebral. Kamaru, on the other hand, he is using such a high level of technical ability and striking. And see, the thing is, okay, I'm gonna go back to him. I'm a small snippet. I trained with Nick Spacek and Team VFS with Bilal Muhammad, Macy Barber, Ignacio. Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, and really quick, salute to Bilal Muhammad on an amazing performance. And you got some rounds in with him this camp, did you not?
No, I stayed away on purpose because I came in post half through.
Okay, but you guys did your work together though in the gym. You guys
worked together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say stuff from afar, until when he comes back. Now I'm gonna show him what we gonna be doing. But
after we talk, I want to talk about Bilal in a moment as well.
Sure. So with Kamaru, literally his striking, even the basic principle of the fundamental jab, it's been indoctrinated in him with. I don't know how many fights he's.
I think it was Trevor Whitman really did an amazing job because he just went to Trevor Whitman's, and that's when you started seeing it. But that's Trevor Whitman all over it. Because remember, Trevor Whitman's really the one that worked with George St. Pierre.
Right. And see what you do: diamonds sharpen diamonds, or lasers sharpen diamonds. Well, essentially, if y'all didn't know, pressure from coal turns the coal into diamond.
Go on, man.
Okay, I'm focusing. So off the rails I go again. So essentially, what Trevor did is took what was polished and put more shine on. And unfortunately, MMA staff members, employees currently are not able to go and cross compete.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, when I was in the UFC.
Okay.
I fought on the world team.
Cross pro. You can't fight Bellator. Okay.
No. I competed at the World Championships and Greek Pancration. I went to China and fought Sanshao.
Yeah,
I was
they're not gonna let
competing
you
in
do
judo.
other things. The
Right.
only thing that the UFC lets you do
I
right
think
now,
grappling tournaments.
grappling tournaments. Yeah, that's the only thing they let you do.
Right. Whereas now, like I said, versus like how the new kids are now, black belt or whatever belt they are in jiu-jitsu, which we now know don't mean they're all that.
Oh, shit.
Then you have when you had
Especially when we saw what was it,
right,
Fluffy
right, the
Garcia,
blue belt submitting the black
a
belt.
couple this past weekend. Yeah.
Right. So then you had Ronda Rousey, who was a one-trick pony with judo. You have and Muay Thai. That's all they put on their resume. An OG like me had 7 black belts from 2nd through 5th. But I've
Well,
competed.
let me ask you this,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you're saying that.
Right.
Because here's the interesting thing, and I want to know. When do you think, because boxers hit their prime early, right?
Yeah.
Because the fight is fought at such a close distance that any slowdown in your athleticism, your career ends up being kaput, essentially. You know, unless you have the brain of Floyd Mayweather, essentially.
Right.
And
right.
In MMA, it seems as if people aren't hitting their primes until a little later on, even though athletically they might have fallen off. But is there something to these athletes that are able to it's just like you said, the older you get, you know more. It's a really a learning man's sport.
Okay.
So when do you think the athletic prime for an MMA fighter truly is?
Okay, good. It really does depend. There's a bunch of contingent variables.
Okay.
One, and I've said this to the athletes, whether it was training center, BFS, whatever gym you want to call it, invite me in. I don't give a shit. They are on camera still learning.
Right.
And there are some fundamentals, even at the world-class level, that the fighters are supposed to be at.
Okay.
They lack a lot of fundamental skills. And when you...
So do you think that's something that's happening as much anymore? Because especially at these top teams, do you think that people are... Because it seems like at the UFC now, like at least those top 10, well, you know what? I can't say that because you...
Right. I know where you were going.
Yeah, you do know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where you were going. I already know where you were going.
And again, that's somebody you that's a training partner.
Right. And see, the thing is that I've experienced that when they are stuck in a certain dynamic of professionalism, like the UFC or Bellator.
Right.
Sometimes I really think that the company restricts them to protect their marketing plan of the athlete. But let's keep it 100. NBA, NFL, especially basketball and baseball, even hockey has the minor leagues. And if you could be a major league player and you go into a slump, they drop you down to the Triple A.
Especially in the UFC, they feed you to the wolves pretty early on. And we're starting to see that, for instance, with athletes like, and again, we were kind of laughing about it, but like Macy Barber, she was thrown to the wolves early, but it's because she was dominating people, you know?
Right.
And honestly, and one thing I was saying,
it was a litmus test.
Absolutely. And one thing I was saying on my show earlier is like, at first I was disappointed in Macy, but at the same token, I realized, one, she's only 22 years old. That's first and foremost.
She took an L. Oh well.
She took an L, you know, and it's nothing. Yeah. And this is her. This was her first full camp. One, off of injury, and two, this is his first full camp with this new team.
Yeah.
So
and remember this: she fought a grown ass woman.
Exactly.
That's what happened with Ronda Rousey. She was fighting tough girls, and then she fought that grown ass woman called Holly Holm
and got whooped. And again, people forget that Holly Holmes was somebody in that moment in time.
World champion in boxing, kickboxing.
Multiple times.
See, people get caught with the blonde hair, blue eyes, and big booty. Holly was in the grind.
Holmes, I will say this about Holly Holm. I think Holly Holm has never really reached her potential in MMA. I think she peaked when she fought Ronda Rousey, and I don't think she evolved enough. She seemed as if she all of a sudden got to a point in time where she didn't. She became far too passive, and with such a great
cyborg fight. When she fought the cyborg, she was fighting. fought scared.
Yeah, man. And honestly, it seemed like after she got choked out by Misha Tate, there was something
Right.
in her that became a little bit more hesitant than it was. Because remember how she
It's
had
deeper.
so many head kick knockouts, and she
Right.
was much more attacking person when she first came out. But I digress. She's incredible. No knock on her, obviously.
None
No knock on her.
at
But
all.
in terms of Macy, I think Macy will absolutely be back. Has she been back to the gym since you've been there?
I've been there one time. Was it
This week?
Tuesday? I was
Well,
there
she
yesterday.
fought this past weekend, so I
Yeah,
doubt that
no. She has a week off or a few days
is
off.
she
Whatever.
still. Is her father still taking a lot of control in her training, or was she with the team?
She's with when I'm there, she's there.
With the team, though, or is
I've
her
not even
daddy
met
out
her
there?
there.
Yeah, was her pops out there like coaching her up, or is it?
I
It's
didn't
like the
see it.
team. Okay, see, and that's what I was telling people. Okay,
Right. The hilarity, her Serge, when I was first there, they saw me as the old man in the room. They didn't
oh
know.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had nobody. Bilal
No
knew.
idea who you were.
Right. They thought it was some homeless guy who came in to work, like the working custodian. and
That's
didn't
hilarious.
even they didn't even catch it on to when the coach Mike
Yeah.
Valley had me autograph the wall with all the fighters.
He didn't even see it.
Right, they didn't catch on. But
Let me ask you this. Speaking of that gym, keeping with that gym,
Yeah.
Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah.
You've known Bilal, my Chicago dude. Has lived and trained in Chicago for years. Love what I've seen from that guy, man. And it seems like he's finally getting to really put it together.
Yeah.
What has he looked like in the gym that you knew? Because you told me before the fight. We spoke before the fight, and you're like,
Yep.
"Yo, this dude is ready."
He was ready.
What did you see in him that do you think he's really turned the corner?
I hope he keeps turning the corner because he's uber aggressive, and let me go to that fight.
Yeah.
The philosophy of combat.
Yeah.
Bilal had war on his back, in his backpack, war on his helmet, and was going to carry forth a mission. Whereas I'm gonna dig back a little, just a smidge. When Conor McGregor brought his wife to this fight, pulling up in the Rolls Royce, having bodyguards with the suit on, that's not a warrior. You don't have a backpack with your weapons. You ain't got your helmet on.
Yeah.
That's why I won $300.
Let me ask you this real quick. Let's talk about Bilal real quick, but I got a question about Conor before we get out of here.
Bilal walked in with a backpack ready for combat. And he took it to the Brazilian.
Absolutely.
Anytime, and I told people, I said, I've never worried about a Brazilian, a black belt.
Right.
You go forward. If they smell blood, you still go forward. If you back up, you're gonna get wrecked.
Right.
Take the fight to him.
For real.
And do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, and be gay. Vini, Vici, damn it. And that's what Bilal did. I hope y'all understand Latin. If anybody don't,
but I think everybody knows what Vini Vici is, so it's good.
And literally, that whole other Macbeth stuff.
Hey, but he went out there and that truly, Bilal Muhammad competes like a warrior. He goes out there.
He's not a sportsman. He's a warrior.
He's a warrior. I love what I'm seeing. How long do you think Bilal has what it takes to be a contender at 170?
As long as he keeps that same damn work ethic, as long as he does not let outside things distract him, because that is the biggest detractor in any combat athlete. I'm not talking about the other activities such as golf and tennis and basketball, or 3 chances to get home safe like baseball, wearing tights.
Right.
I'm talking real gladiatorial combat. I respect football players, even though it takes 12 motherfuckers to score 7 points. MMA, we trying to make a point. We don't care about a 10-8 round. We want to get you on the ground and pound. Subsequently, MMA, football. That's my 2 sports. But with Bilal, bring that ass. That's why she changed his name.
Yeah, he
Bring that
fights like
ass
it, man.
Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, I love it, man, because Bilal absolutely fights that way. He's so tough, so tough. I think
Yeah,
he's
it's not
becoming more
pretty,
and more.
but
Yeah,
he's
but he's
letting you
become
know
more
you in a
well-rounded
fight.
also. So he's become more rounded, and I think he brings a new wave to like the Chicago fighter. One of the last MMA topic. Then we'll have a little bit of fun before we get you out of here.
Yeah.
In terms of Chicago,
Yes.
it has some of the best wrestlers in the world. We have some of the best. What is it? Why? How long is it going to take until we have one of those super teams in Chicago, or is Roof Sport just too close?
Oh my God, we get some damn big ass sports teams.
Do you
What
think that's
makes
what it
the
is?
guys in Chicago tough? Have you? Are you in LA? You soft ass. Have you seen the 5 feet of snow out there? All right.
Hey, wait. First of all, I'm gonna need you to take that back. All right.
Okay.
I'm
Look
gonna need
here.
you to watch it. Hey, time out.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to watch your tone when you're talking to me. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. California cutie who kicks
hey,
ass. Look.
because y'all forget, man. Hey, I live here now. Born and raised in the city. Don't get it
Right.
twisted. I'm from
Y'all,
Chicago.
I'm messing with Serge. Listen. Look at you,
Hey,
California
you know
cute
what's funny? You know what's real funny though, man? You're one of the only people at this point in time now. Like nobody remembers that I fought, right? And I trained and stuff. But the thing about it is, I think that's one of the beautiful things about this sport, and beautiful things about what I do now is that I'm still able to talk about it and still able to have conversations. And you're somebody that's still in the gym. Unfortunately, you are still fighting. I'm looking you in the camera. I be telling him to stop. This is my brother. I love him. I don't know why he does it, but he still competes.
Serge is on a long ass list
Hey,
of people. Even my instructors who put this damn heroin in my veins, that got me addicted to violence. Won't you stop? Won't you leave me alone? As a,
you know what though? I will say something. Yeah, I admire the fact that you have always been so free with your knowledge and you're always so open and willing to help people.
it's fun.
I'm telling you, like I said it at the top of the show. I think it's phenomenal how you're one of the good ones. MMA doesn't have, I say, a lot of the good people. You're one of the good ones in MMA. So always salute to you with that one, man. And honestly, that there's a reason why you and I have stayed in contact as long as we have. Is because you're one of the good ones, man.
You like sidekicks in the belly.
Well, let's talk about this real quick.
Okay.
The last MMA thing. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple quick quick fire questions for you. Okay.
Love it. Ready.
Go. 1. Did Conor McGregor quit?
Mentally, yes.
2. Does Charles Oliveira deserve a title shot?
Yes and yes.
Okay. Who's going to win, Stipe or Francis Ngannou?
Ooh, Stipe is cerebral. And God, that dude punches like he's trying to punch hell. Punch a hole in hell. I mean, really. Jesus.
Who gets it? This is a rematch. Remember.
Right. And
do you think he's evolved enough? You think Stipe gets it done?
I don't see it going a distance. Because Stipe brings
Stipe finishes him?
Not by knockout, not by submission, split decision, or technical TKO.
Okay.
Something like a grounded, pounded. Nothing pretty.
Is it going to be a better? Is it going to be a better showing from Francis this time out?
Oh hell yeah! Oh my God, he needs to go to Swallow Cliff with Dean.
Man, okay. Next one, let me ask you this: in terms of John Jones, will John Jones be the heavyweight champion by the end of 2021?
He has the tools. John has to behave outside the cage.
But do you think he's going to get the chip though? Yes? No?
Yeah. DC retired.
What is Israel Adesanya's ceiling?
What does he?
Or does he have one?
Damn, I'm trying to make that a quick fire. Shit.
Come on, I need a quick one. What's up?
Say it again. Just say it again.
Does Israel Adesanya have a ceiling?
Yeah,
Where is it?
his grappling capacity, even though he just got his purple belt.
Hey, from Cavallo.
Cavallo, yeah.
You don't just hand those out.
No, you don't. It was cute. I saw the ceremony. It was cute.
But he don't hand them out. He's
Right.
legit.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. A few more before we get you out of here.
All right.
Let me think about this. Are the Sideshow fights with the Paul brothers and the athletes and everybody else, and is that good or bad for the sport?
Yes and no.
So good
Why?
and bad? Yeah. Why is it good and bad? Real quick.
One, it brings the idea that people letting them know that we can do more than cage fight.
Okay.
Strategically, they know not, just like Floyd Mayweather, they knew not to have a fight me. Jake Paul knows not to fight somebody like me. I'm a dog.
I mean, any MMA fight, it seems like they don't want to fight any MMA fighter in MMA.
Right.
You know, they want to take them out of their sport.
Yeah, they're picking who they want to take out of their sport.
So do you think it's good or bad for the sport, though?
Well, it brings attention to what MMA is even more so. I really look at it from the negative side.
Do you think it makes more of a mockery of the sport?
In a sense, yes, because they are taking the people who couldn't punch their way out of a wet paper bag if they had bricks in their hands versus the guys who are legitimately dangerous. Like,
very true.
I mean, he picked Ben Askren because of his social media following. He did not ask for Nick or Nate Diaz.
Hey, but we'll say this. That's also, well, he is calling out for Buddy, but I don't want to give him any attention. But okay, moving on to the next one. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you believe in terms of who is your GOAT? Who is the MMA GOAT?
Who is my GOAT? It's people would think I would say Georgios St. Pierre, but it's not. I actually respect the hell out of Anderson Silva.
You still got, even though he pissed hot, you still got him there.
Yeah, because who didn't piss hot?
Hey,
what's his name?
In the words of Nathan Diaz, everybody on steroids.
everybody up in the club. Because literally, see if I say something, man. But there are certain things that I can see. Oh, we're both trainers. I'm going to say this. Okay, I'm going to go super tough nerd on. When you see points of origin and points of insertion on women in the deltoids, in the bicep femoris, in the rhomboids and scapula.
You're just saying this because you like muscly chicks, okay? So let's
not
talk about all the muscly chicks.
Okay, I like muscly chicks. Let's put that out there. Hi, Iris. Hi, Diana Cadeau. But the thing is, you know, I mean, Mari Asp, I can say a bunch of them. You know,
okay,
but when you see muscle on women,
your GOAT. Who is your GOAT?
I'm telling you, Anderson, and the reason why, because multiple disciplines in black belt, went to 205.
But he didn't win a belt at 205. Do you take that away from him?
I never won a belt at heavyweight or so light heavyweight, but I fought heavyweight and light heavyweight.
That's true. Okay, I understand.
Middleweight,
that makes sense.
Welterweight, lightweight.
Yeah.
The thing is that when people forget about those little things, like when Anderson went to Africa and grappled against their champion and their form of grappling.
Yeah, people don't know about that though. People don't know about those stories.
Right.
About Anderson.
I believe it was Cameroon. I think it was Cameroon.
Let me ask you this.
Yes. Challenge Roy Jones Jr.
Bellator is doing their light heavyweight tournament.
Yep.
The headlining bout is going to for the first round is going to be Rumble Johnson versus Yoel Romero. Who wins?
I see Rumble beating Yoel. Rumble is a much better striker, and he was a Louisiana State champion in wrestling. Right. Yeah, I don't have to do my homework. I knew that.
He was. And, I mean, granted, he's not he didn't beat Kel Sanderson twice.
Right. I mean,
like Yoel.
Right. I mean, Yoel, I would still root for Yoel because he's the over 40 guy who's still built like a brick shit house. He's in the Geritol department, in my opinion. Just like I still root for arrogant ass Overeem.
Yeah, I think he might be done though.
Dude, when he have a 40-year-old athlete, because I think he was coming off of a win, and then he
they
looked
keep
like
giving them these young dogs.
Like he needed a walker to come to the cage.
His last fight was the first fight I hate to say it like this, was the first time that I looked at Overeem and he looked old and he looked scared almost. He looked almost timid.
Right. He kept, and that's the thing.
Here's the thing.
You give them one fight.
You
give them one fight a year because I'm sure his paychecks are good enough to fucking sit his ass down.
Yeah, I think he definitely does that.
Here's another one.
Shonie,
Arlovsky.
Yeah. I don't know how much these guys. I mean, but you know what? Those heavyweights tend to age later. Their careers can go a little longer and longer.
Yeah.
All right. Last, certainly not least, before we get you out of here, best walkout song of all time.
Hoppin' Don't Take No Mess.
There it is. Shonie, Mr. International Carter, brother. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today, my brother. We'll definitely do this again. I swear we're gonna have to do this at least once a month. Call it story time with Uncle Shonie, and then we'll get into fight news and shit like we did today. All right.
All right, sounds good. Follow me on Instagram.
Yes, let the people know where they can find you.
Uninterrupted.
Let them know where can they find you. Where is it at? I'm sorry.
Shonie Carter Interrupted on YouTube. I'm uploading videos from the past all the time. Dope. And then you can follow me on the IG, follow me on Facebook, and you can come train with me at Apex House of Grappling with Nick Spacek, 2-time world medalist in jiu-jitsu, and stop by VFS. Apex and VFS.
And again, that's the exact same squad that Bilal Muhammad and Macy Barber and all those guys over there train at currently. So it is an amazing gym. You might see some pros and you'll be able to work with a pro like Shonie. My brother, always much love, man.
Much love. And you can, if you want personal training in Chicago, hi, I'm right here.
Let them know. Well, shout out, my bro. Peace out, man.
Peace.
The legend, Shonie, Mr. International Carter. There it is, man. Yo, for everybody tuning in today, man, thank you guys so much. Thank you to our guest, Shonie Carter, as always, joining us on the show today. A lot of fun. He was able to tell us the story about, that Matt Hughes fight. And like I said, we're going to bring him back on. And he has so many stories. Like I said, he was a former WEC champion. He's a former King of the Cage champion. And he has stories in each one of these huge major organizations, man. So I like I said, when I first started competing in MMA, he kind of really helped me out. And he was one of my main training partners. And I had such a great time. And just sitting back and listening to his stories, man. So a lot of fun. But everybody who tuned in today on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, thank you guys as always for joining us on the show today. I got to put this out there, man. I didn't have my graphic everything pulled up, but you guys will absolutely see it on our IG page. Like I said, follow us at The Fight Podcast. But myself and Darnell Giovanni of Mystic Black are starting our own podcast, man, called Brothers in Combat. It is going to be an amazing show, not your average MMA podcast. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get at it with him. So we'll start that show actually the week of it'll be in March, the first week of March, leading up to Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Love you guys. Thank you as always for listening to episode 269 of the greatest combat sports and culture on the entire universe, The Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE. Thank you once again to our guest, Mr. International Shonie Carter. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.